people that have the heart for governance. Individual matter. Very vital. Churchill Biko, go ahead. After Churchill, Biko Moses Kwado. Churchill
Okay,
in
thank you. Yeah, thank you. Good evening, everybody. Um, well, I think I have to just align with the last speaker. I think in this issue, we need citizenship consciousness. And what with the citizens, we need to sit up because the truth is that Nigeria is looking like a captured nation. Just like the last speaker said, the issue of insecurity was a strategy Hope Uzodinma used in Imo State. And of course, we all know the state of Imo State now. That is the worst governed state in the Southeast. Unfortunately, I was one of the people that supported Chukuma Soludo when he was vying for this office. But I must tell you that I am totally disappointed in what he has delivered so far. So there is need for the people of Anambra State to rise up to the occasion because with this level of insecurity, of course, he's trying to intimidate and cow the whole citizens so that on the day of the election, if I give up or got this year result and come out and declare him winner. There is need for us to mobilize. Yes, Val Osibo spoke well. Most of his plans are in tune with what we actually need to get this country moving forward. But then I think we need to awaken the consciousness of the citizens to begin to know that this power still resides in our hands, not in the hands of these criminals. Because the politicians say we're conscious, they don't know that the process they abuse today will come back to hurt them tomorrow. Unfortunately, Soludo was also a victim of insecurity. We knew the attempts that were made on his life when he was about getting into the office. But because the citizens supported him, because everybody rallied around him, he was able to surmount. Unfortunately, right before him, the state is now failing. So I think our focus should be to awaken the consciousness of the citizens, let them come out on the day of election. Votes can still count if we insist that our votes must count. We can count our vote for the police station, escort the vote to the collecting section zone, and insist that our vote must count. How many people would this military and the policemen kill? They kill, they scare people away, but they cannot kill. If we stand our ground, they cannot kill. They too are human beings. They too are afraid of their own life. They too want to also live for their families and children. So these politicians have devised this strategy because, of course, I'm here, Onyenke what he has been using to deal with Lagos State and now Nigeria is all about intimidation. And the only thing we can do now is to rise up to the occasion to tell them that we can no longer be intimidated. And I believe if we rise up to that occasion, of course, we'll get our powers back, we'll get our states back, we'll get our nations back. I yield the mic. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ọ dị ka ife a na-ekwu quickly ka Churchill gakene na before ihe anyị na-ekwu ka ihe a bụ ihe anyị ga-eme now on ground to make sure from now till November is quite a long time for us to sit down and be saying, oh, we already know why my election and presidential election. We saw how we did, vigorously campaign and went for the candidate we believe no made the right thing. Yes, but we did something. The whole world saw that my message. They stole it, but they saw. So kefe before I get making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Kai kwadobe our people and move ourselves out of the place. I bozi go or this kind of helpless. Ilu mgbe ahụ eme ifufa so no ifufa na emelu onwe ha ịghọta ka anyị mekene ihe anyị ga-emenwu n'onwe anyị ka fafu n'onwe ihe anyị menwu because ha na-enezi anya ya ka onwere ihe anyị ga-emenwuzinu biko nụ. Daalụkwanụ. Moses biko gakene n'iru o.
Yes, good evening once again.
Okay, Obuna Moses anọrọ nso. Ka anyị n'onu Ajibus.
Hello, can you hear me?
Moses nọ nso.
Hello.
Anyị chara na ife Moses na-ekwu.
Ọ kwasị onu gị ka nna anụ. So ife a ka na-eme dị sef. Bịa na adịcha na ọ bụrụ ndị ilo anyị na-eme anyị ife a.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Anyị na-anọgọ ọfụma.
Ọ dịkwa egwu. Okay.
Onye ọbụla na-anụ ife ị na-ekwu ọsọsọ ịda na-anụ ife ndị ọzọ na-ekwu mana ya dịkwa.
Biko nke onye chiri ya zere. First of all, I want to start by appreciating each and every one of us, most especially those that have spoken earlier, and just dive into the discussion at hand of unveiling the issue of insecurity in Anambra State. You know, the issue of insecurity or the issue of security cannot be overemphasized. And I believe that the responsibility of every governor or every administration is to protect the lives and property of its citizens. You see, what is going on in Anambra State, from the political end, we will say that it is strategically aligned because according to the last speaker, more feeling that it's an strategy to increase voter apathy that will lead to the current government coming into power. That is my feelings. But the question is, should we all watch and allow such things to happen? Anambra State was never like this before. Even during Ngige's time or during Mbanuju time, it was not like this. To the extent of kidnapping, high kidnapping, daily kidnapping, and a lot of atrocity going on in the state. You get? It wasn't like this. And even if it was like that, we had a governor who came and wiped away insecurity to the extent that the high G declared Anambra State the safest state we have in the country. So what is the problem? What exactly is the problem? It all boils down to what we said earlier, or what our previous speakers have said earlier. It is the issue of the government not taking security serious, just to use it to get to the second term. Because what will it take you, or what will it take you as a governor to secure your state? What is the landmark of Anambra State, if I may ask? What is the landmark of Anambra State? Even if Anambra State is the widest, what are you doing as regards to security? It is only a security vote that is what's imprinted in the constitution. What is that money being used for? It all boils down to that Soludo second term. And it's so unfortunate that I didn't speak when Val Ozibo was, because I would have asked him. Anambra now needs a voice. Anambra now needs a voice. But to be frank with you, we are not getting that voice from people who we believe should be championing it. During the 2021 election, I worked for PDP. I worked for Val Ozibo. What I mean, I worked for Val. I was part of the committee that this former senator, Uche Kwelife, headed. You get? So I know what it took us. I know the role we played to ensure that we deliver PDP. You get? So, but I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to that place. Now, what are the solutions? Number one is this. Thank God for this kind of space. Awaken the consciousness of our people. Letting them know that this is a strategy to deprive Anambra of voting. Let our people know that this is a strategy to deprive Anambrans from voting. I have been voting since I got my voter's card. And no matter where I am, I always come back to Anambra to vote. I did that in the last presidential election, in the last governorship election. So I'm not ready to back down, because this is Anambra we are talking about. Anambra was one of the states that is the safest. So what is the problem? The problem is this strategy that this current government want to use to what? To hinder Anambrans from voting. And we must awaken the consciousness of our people. That is the first thing. Awaken the consciousness of our people. Number two is telling them that we shouldn't, it's Apoga, it's not only the party in Anambra State that can produce a good candidate. And that is, I think that is why Soludo is feeling so comfortable and so pompous that he has forgotten how he came into power. You understand? So we must awaken the consciousness of our people. The insecurity going on in Anambra State. Let me tell you the truth. I was fortunate enough to have a friend in the police who works in Anambra State. And this discussion, we've discussed it. I've tried to ask him, what are you people doing exactly? Because my problem was, firstly, was on the police, that you people should be active. But you know what he said to me? He said, that see, not that they don't know where these people are, or not that they don't have an information, but number one is they've not given them go ahead. It's so unfortunate that where the chats, I can't promote the chat because my phone was stolen on my way to work one of the days. Yes, he told me that not that they don't know, that is that they're waiting for order. And I believe some of this order is that these people are not being provided with gadgets and equipment to aid their mission. Because you cannot say you are going into an insecure place empty-handed with a pistol. Perhaps people you are going there to confront are having pump actions and weapons of mass destruction. You get? So we must first of all awaken our people's consciousness and tell them that this is a strategy, and it all boils down to those who are coming out. To be frank with you, I'm in Lagos now, but I know my first note in Anambra State are still telling me that Val is not serious and Soludo is likely to win the second term. I'm telling you the facts. I'm not using words here. People are saying that Soludo will win the second term because opposition are not doing their job. And I don't know, maybe because of this security issue that has made all of them go into extinction. Val should know that if truly he is serious, it should come out forcefully. And I don't like this thing when I'm hearing that November is too far. Excuse me, November is not far. Every politician or anybody who feel that he needs to win election must see this election as something of tomorrow. Therefore, you must do everything you must do to ensure that you must think that it is tomorrow and do everything you must do to ensure that you get there. Everything right, quote unquote. Because we cannot keep on being like this. Anambra was a leader of other states. In fact, other states look up to Anambra, but both for security, both for investment. Do you know how much we've lost as a people or as a government? We've lost a lot of investment that's supposed to come to Anambra State because of this level of insecurity. And somebody is at the aim of boasting of his second term, of which I according to what I hear, it's possible he will win. Because the opposition are not doing their job. Opposition are not doing their job. What should I say? Val should sit up. I don't know why I was not fortunate to speak when he should sit up. There are a lot of questions I should ask him. You must sit up. You must see this election as something tomorrow, and you must do everything. Put acts in order. The other man was talking. I believe what was his name? Spoke about where are aerospace housing in the capital city. Where are their structures? Because one part of it is having a structure. What are your structure? What platform do you want to use to win Anambra State? People must see your serious needs. Nobody is figurehead now. The only person we are seeing is Soludo, and in fact, the person I even felt that was almost challenging him was the late Ifeanyi Uba. May he so rest in peace. Even if I'm not a fan of his party, but he was the man who was putting that Soludo on his toe. But now he is gone, and that's why Soludo is now flexing another muscle, because he doesn't feel that anyone can. There's no loud voice that can do this thing, that can contend with him. You get. So what am I saying, essence? First of all, awaken the consciousness. Second of all, inform our people to go and vote. This not carry this mindset that our vote will not count. And if we also so, let there be people on ground. And it all boils down to the opposition. Let put people on ground, mount the all polling units. Let there be physical agents, not only on the polling units, but on the electoral, where the votes are being accumulated, because that is where the magic usually happens. That is where the magic usually happens. So we must go back to the drawing board. The opposition must go back to the drawing board, and also inform our people that APOGA is not only the party that can give good governance. APOGA, because our people mentality has been compelled to believe that Anambra APOGA. Please excuse me. Anambra is not. It's not a property that you own. We must think out of the box. Even the APOGA, even the Ojuku we are using as a link to APOGA, they are not more putting in their flyers, talk much of their clothes anymore. Why? Because they're trying to push him out of the picture. And since they're trying to push him out of the picture, we must awaken the consciousness and tell our people that APOGA is not the only party that can give us good governance. We have other parties that can do that. We have other parties that can do that. And that is why I believe Soludo has refused to do the needful. There is no more political will anymore. There is no more political will anymore. So, why I
Okay, I put that very briefly. You can make every solution called it as short as possible. Can you also it's very important. When I say everybody politics should not start now. If I think what our brother, I think I also said it when I spoke earlier, but I am anche ndị be anyị na-anwụ tata a na-anwụga n'okpuru solution a ga-ebitogodi tata ka o bidogodi lụgọ anyị nidoro ka ọbịa anyị chebe till November for our people to be safe. Biko quickly, the next person ga-aga kịta biko na ọ bụ na obedient nọ available, please you should come on board. After obedient, mpotompo, after obedient, Ajibusu, I can see your hand raised. Honorable Ada, thank you. After obedient, can why jekene biko then Ajibusu kwenye biko ka anyị kene ọnụ nwanyị biko ka ọ dịkwana ka ọ na mmadụ nọ.
Nsogbu adọrọ mma ebe okwu nke
Thank you very much.
bụ na ọ nwere misi okwu before ihe a na-asị aga-ahapụ security n'elu ụzọ. Anambra dị capable ị na-alụ ụzọ maintain security maka ndị anyị na ha na-eme ka ihe dị very cunning. Oyala ibu echi asị anyị na security na everything more allocation everything na-abata na Anambra na-aga straight to the security. Biko ka anyị wepụ data ideology ịlọ bụ ụzọ bridge, we can do both. Ndị ọzọ na-eme ya. Alex Oti na manage security na manage other infrastructures. ke Enugu State na-eme ya ọ bụrụ sọ na Anambra ka a ga-abụ ahapụ ụzọ emebesi asụsụ security biko o ka anyị wepụ that notion we can do both at the same time ịghọtago maximum ka anyị chọọ from them. Thank you.
Okugamaka, we can do both and more at the same time. It's not all songs in Hana Bakayem. Education is there, empowerment, commerce. Anambra Okwa Kusebo commercial headquarter for the whole Africa. Manakaiji good. Honorable Ada, Biko, take it from me.
Thank you so much, Chibueze. And thank you for stepping in. Oh, I haven't had that much. Was yours or Anyway, thank you again for holding on to the space, Chuka. I wanted to say, Afrozima for onye na-ekwubu okwu right before the last speaker kwuo. But I feel like anyị ebidogo ime that thing again. We're doing it again. Yeah, bụ na anyị pụta ya na-asị why na onye anyị emenwu nke onye a Val nya wepụta onwe ya nya mee this one and mee that one. The truth is I rap Val anyị nwa bụ ndị Anambra State especially I rap Val hey anyị nche nne ya collect. That's as in just fact like that. Everybody will continue to collect. Unless more on them metagio or if you na it is shielded na ihe na-eme na Anambra State eme kata metagwa or ndị bụ unu. Biko aya abụrụ aya arapụlụ Val na-asị ka pati ọ na-arụ ọnụ wit kedu otu o esi run ọ na-eme onwe ya loan or this or that. Kedu ihe anyị nwa na-eme? Ka ife anyị nwa na-eme ihe anyị na-achọ ka Val mee bụ ihe ọ kwesịrị ime ma ọ bụ na the coast is clear ịghọtago ọ bụ na everything na work ọfụma ihe niile. This level I know kita abrozi ihe yarapụlụ ofu onye. As a people, I need to be together. Decide ya na onye itinye in the forefront. I have a strong man. I have a strong man. Ihe na-achọ bụ otu anyị esi gbakọta aka form a coalition of strong people. Chụpụ onye ala nọ na seat a kịta. Chụpụ ya zapụ ya with ndị otu ya niile ndị ala niile ọkpọ eje ebe a zapụ ha nche niile. And the person mentioned this man will within Bikon Ogagago, okay, for in this time and age, Ogagago era puefe. Na say, oh, kedu eme, na try yonya ye push, na chonye abu leader. Onye obna need iputase meyebu no kutana buno. Onye obna putilo, daputan kaije tiko akaja no aya because onwezikwa otu ọzọ anyị esi wee win ya. Anyị na ọkwa na-eche na-asị na na ọ kwesịghị imeki onwe anyị tenne bịanụ ka anyị meki onwe anyị known together then decide ya na onye anyị na front. Ọ bụrụ Val fine, ọ bụrụ onye ọzọ fine, but at this point because time agago ife a 2025 already. Ife ma m nke kịta November election. So ka anyị bido nkịta honestly if I brief ya na-asị ka structure Val nwere only during any structure anya chose anya send ebe a o je na-eme ihe solia o wele gi ya niile o mecha campaign. Anambra State the too small nke abro like Nigeria ya si na itinye Peter Obi ebe a lot of people tinye gbakọta aka together tinye Peter Obi. No, Anambra State anyị the too small that I gbakọ aka together we can actually make sure na onye anyị tinye ebe a na ya dị very accountable. Any day ozuzu anyị banye ọka etinye aka adọpụta ya ebe a. For once, can the people do this job by themselves with their own hands? For once. Because otu aka anyị na-asị anọ every time na-asị kedu onye a na-achọ onye ya bụ leader. Who will be the leader? Anyị achọzi leader. Anyị nche ndị kwesị ịbụ leader. Anyị nche niile. I mean, that state bụ our state collectively. Abi? If I state anyị kedu ihe na-achọrọ onye ya ejelu nke a jee wepụta nke a jee kpọpụta structure ebe ọ na-anya abụ structure. Because I'm coming back and here because I know who also onion cause us when a cool before. It sounds good. But we forget times are not nyakita. You can't call for sensible behavior in this time and age and period. Opa can say can quote Chibueze. And then in a worry since now see can from now going forward because I check it till November. I agree with you. I now think I tell till election. I check till election. I think the real question should be how many more lives are we willing to sacrifice? Because near I tell till election, I tell till November, I tell now. Lives and properties will still keep, getting destroyed. The enemy will continuously, as in they will continue to entrench themselves in the system. The roots are now grow. So no, I don't know Makum and I don't know can tell more than I threaten my life. What was Soludo see a threaten our lives? When I threaten my life, no longer say okay, can you quad up tan me so cookie immediately. So getting ya bido mebe from now. That's the question I can ask you. Okay, hi get bido mebe kita. Kaya ga now. What can we begin to do? Kita. Because you know, Kechi. Ndị mmadụ ka na-anwụ, so how many more lives from family unu are you willing to sacrifice? That should be our questions, honestly. Ngwanụ ndị constituents m achọtago m ebe nzu. Thank you.
Biko na ọkwa efugo na okwu nwaanyị na-adị ka ọ na-adị very strong and direct. I love the way she puts it. Kifai Yemebe now, number one. And then all of us are the leaders we are actually looking for. I ain't telling you didn't do any na okwu m na mbụ si anyị tụọ onye ike afịa ịtụ onye kara ige afịa na ka o jee ọchanja jegote ego pat ọ nata ịma nnata nwunye chenji gị ịghọta ka anyị zikene na onye anyị ga-anatawu chenji anyị ozi a ka anyị nata nwunye chenji anyị ịghọta biko nụ quickly Ajibusu my brother oluwetanụ gị.
Nah, man, ekene moon, man. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're listening from. Ekene moon, you're not against. Maybe Anambra, being Anambra, so I'm a Anambra in and out. To a large extent. Almost some things in this ago. Since they be the Kubokwa. I want to get of my. Most of them they concerned or worried, or most of them they make a good comment about K5 make KKC has you with Ibiro and Anambra. But I'm sure most of majority of Iwan Ekuoku by Ibiro and Anambra. So it's one of the biggest issues you have to go Iwan and Anambra notice because now major stakeholder Ebiro and Anambra. So these politicians do whatever they want to do and get away with it. You understand? The people they hold you for accountable. Anoro na Anambra, Anoro on ground. Inoro na Lagos, Inolo na Obodo Oyibo. So, Ebiro and Anambra is one major issue. You understand? It's one big issue. Maka, let's be honest, I could just go na what are we going to do? You drop this your phone now, you go back to doing what? I will no series what they are, we just go back to our normal life. So it's one big issue. I don't know how we can fix it, but it's a major issue. I lived in Anambra and I can tell you that an average on Anambra or your child can tax insecurity or whatever, that's fine. They can, they are used to living like that. A good number of them. It's unfortunate, but people are used to living in the midst of insecurity. And I'll do all right. I know another thing in notice, every election cycle, 1 year before election, Anambra, all the kind of be floodgate of insecurity. I don't know why. I don't know if it's something you guys have observed. It's something, it happened the last time, it happened the other election ML. I don't know why. You understand? There's something happening, or there might be something, that I don't know, something is not right. It just doesn't make sense. 1 year or 9 months before election, Anambra, anyway, all manners of unbelievable insecurity. And do you know what's crazy? The governors at the time, they don't do anything. If it's intentional, I can't tell, but it is not right. You understand? So it is not right at all. And of course, I think it was Chibueze Pulumaka, investment and whatnot and all that. I took on a huge honor and all that. My brother, if you put the line, if you put the other man, let me tell you, I hope one is you. I've had this discussion with countless people. What a way so it's investment from now to tomorrow. What way you have to plug on if your place is not secured. Let's for me, I'm not very we want things to happen now with Daniel and all that. But if we don't tackle the major problem, trust me, I believe investment gabata naturally, like you don't even have to force it. You understand? You don't even have to advertise it. The buying with head mindset. But I'm other people may the money for that now. Oh, insecurity and I go and people are not investing. People, all these things will just be yeah, feel your name. It might phone is will be the Luba Hotel now. Other people will be the Luba. It can device it can device you understand? Trust me, if we don't tackle insecurity in our buying, all this wishful thinking and sweet dreams I want would not you can keep saying the same thing for the next 5, 10 years if we don't tackle insecurity. So for me, insecurity is very important. Like it has to completely disappear. No when now it a man na tie plane, travel the whole world, but a chak with your contact. It just makana I never could go, ego, everything insecure. Not me, and definitely not any other person listening. What do you about it? You understand? But a chego more, near being security. It doesn't happen anywhere. It's not going to happen. You understand? It's not going to happen. So I don't know what we can do, but something has to happen. I don't know how. I don't know when, but something needs to change. That's the truth. Thank you.
Submission, Gidi. Very, very, very. Thank you so much. Um, Amamu, the kind of mind in the Igbo Amamu, where they give us this our crop of leaders from, with all these things, and even now they oftentimes, but that I trust myself that I'm not the most intelligent, yet that I am able to come up with these intelligent ideas. What happened to the intelligent ones amongst us? Ka ihe mere ndị kacha malụ n'ime anyị that na ọsọnsọ ndị amoosu a ka a na-akpụta tinye n'isi in our leadership. Onye ka anyị mejọ? Onye ma Ada ji wee sị, can we come out and become the individual leaders? Let all of us, everybody should come out and say, okay, Ogbaka happen every Saturday. Next Saturday, you brought out a very valid point. The people who are living in Anambra, most of them are not here. A lot of us are not in Anambra. Many people are on the space. Very, very fine. Igbo na-eje ije Numban bụ our lifestyle. Mana biko next time, can we call one or two persons ndị nọ na Anambra? That's why anyị nwere meeting. Ije na village na ụmụnna ọ bụrụ ihe abịa meeting gị too much na mbọsị afọ ejiri njakịrị kpọta meeting. Can we by all means bring our people ka fa bịagbala anyị mgbakọ anụwa ka anyị bido meziwe ana Igbo, not just Anambra, because ọ bụ na ya ha abịaghọ meeting a onwe ka anyị esi wee meziwe ya, onwe ka anyị esi bụrụ odogwu a, because ọwụzọ okwu ego ka a na-ekwu. Ego dị super important, mana okwu solutions that will give us if I chọ all solution ndị anyị fight ka a na-ekwuzi okwu ya, not just okwu ego. Because we don't have much speakers on the space because chi ejitetugodu nwa obele. Dominaj kwesịrị ikwu okwu just after Ajibusu. Dominaj na-emezi connecting. Anambra first.
Okay, so
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
On what page? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Oh, nna sị onwe ka anyị esi deliberately, intentionally make sure that the next time, because you came up with the fact, indisputable, that na ndị Anambra, ndị bi n'ime Ọnịcha, ndị bi n'ime Ọka anọrọ ebe a, and ọrọkwa na anyị enweghị phone anyị eji be online mee meeting a. Majority of us are connected online. Mana some of them are passerby. Ha also ihe ha na-eme n'internet bụ ikiri memes, ikiri joke na Instagram, na TikTok.
Okay,
Can we bring them here? How do we commit ourselves?
I think one of the things I when came as in Anambra, knowing how Anambra is structured and knowing how Anambra function. First and first, I need the Magudi um mindset of Onyeno no Chichi, and from my own personal observation, um, body language Onyeno no Chichi, bu Namochi. He's do I call him I don't. I mean, his body language. Yeah, he comes off as somebody who um uh, maybe a classist, if that makes sense. Um, he's somebody, in my own opinion, Obona I choko we have to pressure. We have to put so much pressure on very influential people on Anambra. You understand? Because I feel like those are the only people he listens to. Yeah, and I call another people on. That's my own opinion. You understand? Um, Pressure some people am I gonna um do influential on Anambra that we feel like unagent. Abukwa mamu na jona kwe ganit. Why ya na ko just guy na ko fisia ko ekocha na be ya. You understand? I think that might work. Just for the insecurity, I'm not more than put in my election because let's be honest. Abuna the people being Anambra already are the good defeated. You understand? They don't care. They're living. It's not like the insecurity they right, but they've learned to live with it. I want to know, but don't even know diaspora and all kinds of places. Of course, but I'm not here about flights. They have a number, chuba insecurity or whatnot. And I think the only way around it, the only thing that might work, but pressure, influential, very influential, strategically, senior pressure, and very influential people on Anambra. I feel like those influential people, are gonna how to quite consigned. You understand? That might work. It might work. That's how I feel, though. It might not work, but I mean, you never know until you try. That might work. But apart from that, I can't really think of anything at the moment, except moments where I know the one morning. It's okay. Culture and Subuna State also. That's it.
Brother, thank you very much. Like I just said earlier, like everybody be a meeting now, submissions from all the very deliberate and intelligent. Application be about our problem no. Application be about our problem no. So thank you everybody be a meeting today. Let's start today is
No, sorry, onwere onye ọzọ na ebe a batala ọfụ na aka ekwuru okwu.
okay.
Kenny.
Kenny Ozie.
Yes, Kenny.
No,
Kenny, you can
Kenny,
speak.
you can speak now, sir. Kenny, now if
you hear me.
Yes.
Yes, we can hear
Okay,
you.
because I can find a channel Nendo. Dalo no. All right. And please, mo waiting on no kuavo. Ese biko onwe kai esi when a man didn't kind sensitized because I've been hearing some people say our solution how best to get around our leaders, especially in the southeastern region. Mo aneku onwe kai esi na agbakọbụ mmadụ. It worked for us in the time past when we had things like I think around 1930 when about women riot and all of that happened. We are not calling for riot anyways, but protest. Ọ bụrụ somewhere ihe mere na national level ka anyị afụ anyị na-eji nja ga-eme protest. Protest, the essence of protest I think is to draw attention to a particular problem. Then onye nọ n'isi oche aghọta na ife a ndị a na-ekwu nwekwa reason eji na-ekwu ya whether I'm winning or in the protest, but then The other states are looking at him now. Oh, when got wrong in your state, meaning your own people did not react in a way that had their public space to even talk about it. Ndi Igbo anyị amali eme. Our protest na bụ some no federal level or national level mbaki afọ anyị onye ọbụla mapụtasịa. For instance, in Anambra na, FNM in Anambra na has been years. It's been like a long time coming. And that man took Udesiniabo professor. Amarakan Niana Kebia. What you know is so old English from Michael Westbo, how to govern a state. Anambra is too big a state in Nigeria to be going through this kind of insecurity. A Peter Obi went through that state within his tenure when he was there. Regardless of what has happened from the days of what's the other man, the Okija man, and all of that, that's Ngige. When that man Peter Obi sat in that seat, nobody cough from my stop to whoever. Nobody cough. Everybody quiet till he finishing thing. Now can they hear this one? Anambra is one of the states Ejimali Igbo. In fact, is the first state that you get to get interface with before you even enter into the interior part of Igbo land. Now, most of the people, sometimes outsiders and foreigners, that's from other states apart from the Igbo land, when they enter into our space, what they see ordinarily from even touts and agberos and all of that in Anambra is a different tales. That's why when they tell you Igbo people are like this, Igbo people are like that. My brother, no doubt they're not true. Now they experience some. And then someone is seated there, not doing anything about it. Now, guess what? The people knows about it. But no one will put her in like groups. Cry out. May protest they destroy. Cry out. I like if I affect, most especially economic angle. Igbo business get malofa. Manam if there's something I always think about when I remember I be like our forefathers knew who we are. Emmanuel when I did this now o meselem belambia for joy and one way jembalu. Do not hurt a stranger because you bojem benwilo. Imagine a stranger, no matter who did that in the Igbo land. Oh yeah, man, only Igbo also affected either in America, London, or wherever. Eba koro de akoko. Now kwenye jello, emetuti etwa. It will affect another brother somewhere. Now man odi no de fa mekwa na bia. O melum biarambia for jo. O bulum biarambia. O mejolom biarambia. Let alone onye mejolom one near. As no ya one jembalu. That shit is deep. Amachọrọ m Igbo etu a mana nnụnụ nka n'elu ndị kwadola anyị ọnọdụ nwekwa na efe afọ onwe ka chi anyị si wee ka anyị dị iche ka mmadụ pụtara na 2024-25 n'ọrụ n'oche sị na ya mara what to do about what's going on in terms of insecurity. Ịmana Igbo na-egbu Igbo ibefa kịta now. Anambra, Imo State, most especially. Because no can they common men, common people, the citizens, don't want to call it. They say be together. Say, we'll not go agree. That's protest, though. Only about the guy, but just we'll not agree. This thing is affecting us. If that thing happens, whoever is on the seat will have no option that to get to work. He go roll up his sleeve to solve this problem. There was a lady that spoke before, like 2-3 people now. She said something, and that shit is pertinent. She said, the more you wait on this thing, the more lives are lost. The more people are going down. These are not chickens. They are human beings. They are Igbo people like me. Now, imakoko na adim mamno emeruru onye Igbo alu ka ofokwa mgbe egburu ya egbu. Esogom no talk ya even man na Lagos. Na emeruru onye Igbo alu. Mmejelu n'isi mmiri a ogono omegogono. Ọ bụ na o zuru ori ọ dị iche. Ọ bụ na ọ gburu mmadụ ọ dị iche. Mana ọ nwere family mee ya attack. Nna m nọ nso esomelu n'isi mmiri a ya akọtala m family. Ọ dịrọ no mma among ourselves anya na-emere onwe anyị na-egbu to the extent na na-emecha ma organ na harvest nwanne yi. Achọkwa m ime onye bụ onye nwasị isi Ebonyi isi Anambra isi Abia isi Imo isi wherever. This is way out of hand. And ndị mmadụ na ha watch anyị na-ekiri ka isi ebi ndụ anyị. Meanwhile, we assume the best set of people. Okwofu Anambra ka ekwuru at some point around 2013-14 that is the best and secured state in Nigeria. Can ha ko ha na ha ko. Okpu ano there na so old English from Michael West. Nam I think protest is it. Let the people rise and declare their intention. How did the TikTok come? May they bear their own mind, say, this is too much. We are going down. This is not good.
Kenny, I just have almost had them go quickly before it fall. In a situation like this where the people are clearly, obviously, actually interested in protest, can you find them, man?
Oh, so that's what I'm saying. That is there a better way of we inciting or sensitizing them? I use the word inciting, but sensitizing the people. Na onwere ka ihe si gba nkịtị ịgbakwa nkịtị ọ ya erute na bei ị na het na o mere na nkwọgụ o mere this junction ọ ya erute bei it's a done deal ọ ya erute bei ma o metụlụ gị o metụ onye gbasalụ gị onye dị related to you emefa and also to wake up our traditional rulers ihe ha niile na amama ife a na-enye ha dị esuchi ha ọnụ afụbekwa m na ndụ m ọ nwekwa ka m si afụta Igbo traditional rulers from when I was a little kid. Amụrụ m na ana Igbo mana ọ nwere ka isi akọwatara m ndị a m na-afụta na-eche n'uche nke m I see them like there's this ebube around them, an aura that they are more like a masquerade, a spiritual being, a god, like a god in human form. Ka eruziri kịta ihe a niile na-ebe ha niile makpuchi ọnụ. Do you know when you travel the corridors from Benin to Anambra and Onitsha, nna m ị ga na-asị na nkwado onye bụ mmadụ na ana Igbo a because the whole checkpoints where no they do anything really from police to whatever to military to whatever extorting people from that same region. One name Tiekani is in our side in Pagara West, Imanfia, Tinisi side north, Imanfia. Man, when a traditional ruler so bankete, I want to kuni like I'm saying, no come manaka watalandia. You will see like maybe inciting them. No, but I'm saying it's sensitization. Kawatalu these people, whichever community, whichever side. Uno no kwanune kuni nam efa is go. We're done going through this thing or drama. Then whoever non is no matter who akwanye yokunike or puilo jejoba whether na councillor or local government chairman or governor or whoever nam di bems na efa drama. Consequently incable representatives and senators. Let's call them all out. I think that's the best way around this thing. Poputandi ilo kefe neme imara no de ha neme bankiti says. Until ndị not at the same place in a house in a represent a well able representative. Or drama. So to answer your question, I'm thinking the best way is to sensitize the people more on how to come out in groups and say, we don't like this thing. They had drama, we are dying. On a maybe business. That's it for me.
Yeah, very well.
Hello?
Thank you very much. And we Peter on the space, and we service can one you ma before you I'm like you said something about protest, or something I'm very keen about it because I'm always protesting. In short, my life is a life of protest because on a protest, Kaigi see what the best of us. That now I'm protesting against you does not mean I'm a frog in you. I'm protesting against you because maybe not that we need money. Oh, protest now.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Because sometimes I need to protest. For the land up, I tell I say I have frozen. I brought one, even one night, man. One night is I correct, yeah. Because this way constitutes you presently. Even traditional rulers now cannot say so much. It was last year or so, and a weapon madi tiga imagasi na yeho inka staff of office, no staff of office abro in Konde Madochol. Imago, I know in a system where governor has said no bro ya bigo bodunu. As I'm talking to you now. So yes, protests. Mana kendi yeme the protests. Oh, about the first thing I use on my address. Before we'll come back to this later. Manaka service culture evangelist Priscilla Amadi 191. You know so ki iti kanala ya lo ke faiga we make it to awaken our people. dịzị ka ha adịgo so used to this madness. Dịzie ka asị ngwa ka ọ dịlịzie agabazie ka anyị chelegodi ka anyị maa ka Nọvemba ya elu anyị na-ekilizi wọchị ka Nọvemba na-abịa. Service
Okay, my brother, in Anuhemekwu.
ana m anụ ife ị na-ekwu.
Achamekelege, how you stepped in with all the network issues we are going through. Yeah, step in and you're doing very well. Good job, Nna. Well done. So, with regards to Ajujuju, it's so sad, really. One thing I know when it comes to these things is to be able to start reiterating, talking about the issues. You know, according to some people, say closed mouth is a closed destiny, or rather, when people keep quiet, you know, about stuff, yeah, they cannot, hey, many accept the fact that we are here on this basis, speaking about issues that we do not like or things that we want to get better. It's a start. It's a good start. That's why orientation is very important. Mindset shift is very important if you want to kickstart culture changes in organizations, society, groups, right? So, otu anyị gbakọrọ ọnụ now na-ekwu about these challenges anyị nwe is a good start. I heard earlier I nọ na-ekwu say ka emewe onye ọbụla invite every Saturday ka abịa ebe a. It's very good. In addition to ndị Anambra, it's also very important that other states, Imo, Enugu, Ebonyi, Abia, join in these conversations because this show is particularly maka gịnị maka ọdịmma ndị Igbo. So we have identified the fact that Odeka, ndị nọ n'ọchịchị are having it's not Odeka, ndị nọ n'ọchịchị are having a field day because o nwere otu anyị si mee our leadership, the way I should view our leadership, dịka ha wụ God. You understand? And it's very, very wrong, Makana. They are not there to be served, they are there to serve us. Immediately we understand that and imbibe that in the way we call for accountability. Oya diche. Because sometimes some of the timeline, even some things some people na-ekwu say ka anyị ga-achọta onye nwere obi leadership, ka anyị ga-achọta this, ka anyị ga-achọta that. See, there's a reason why democracy is completely supposed to be real democracy. Democracy is supposed to be for the people, of the people, by the people. In these three instances, the common factor is the people. They did not say for the government, by the people, for the government and stuff like that. No, it's basically the people. But ihe mere ni bụ na the people are now outsourcing the responsibilities as citizens, may outsource to the government I may elect. So ịkpọtala mmadụ ọ batala n'ọchịchị kama anyị ga-acha ya ọkụ n'ike ka o mee ihe ndị a niile ọ sị na ọ ga-eme ihe mere na anyị ji votuo ya in the first place. Before you know, onye ọbụla gaala azụ, a na-eme gịnị? A na-eme expect ka onye mere election ka ọ bịa mee ihe aha ọ sị ọ ga-eme. Now, inyeli ya 100 days adịghị unu hụrụ, 1 year adịghị unu hụrụ, onye ọbụla ala azụ na-ele anya na-ekpe ekpere na let us encourage the government. Then a help law likely any day he wakes up, yeah, we're to 10 kilometer of 1 kilometer of road rụọ ya, ọrụcha ya ihe ọbụla likely ya kpọta ụmụnna, kpọta ụmụ nwaanyị, kpọta ụmụ nwoke, nye ha efe ha yiri. The money ha ga-eji eme commission agafezi ego eji rụọ ụzọ. On what? Commissioning ahụ ị na-eme ọwa ego gị. Anyị abịa tụnụ our democratically or what elected or selected, as the case may be, leaders into some demigods. Hebe chefuzie the work that they are supposed to do. You as a citizen geja acha a governor or kunike. Your fellow citizens now go say on our bambo happier, he won't be ojo, he like in all those kinds of very, very low quality talk. Onye ọbụla tinye ọnụ na-acha ọkụ, ọrụcha nke a gaa jụọ ya ịrụọla nke ọzọ, ọwụ nke ọrụ nke a onye ọbụla echefuzie the remaining 99 o tosiri ịrụ. Ọ bịara nga abịa ịrụ ọrụ, ọ bịaghị nga abịa izu ike, ọ bịaghị nga to be worshipped. He came there to work. Oh, he gwarunu na election during campaign. No, chorino. And we have after 7-point agenda. Before Hannah left, spend there 8 years in our own 7-point agenda. Otu awunezi, you will not see anything. I don't know. But here na aka fucha mo for the psychophants na. Will I say low esteemed citizens? Ne we ki judge, ne we ki tinyo na head to street chai oko. Or roll one school na your local government. Macron that one school na your local government. Yeah, we say the government is good. Meanwhile, we're 27 local government from Hana Rubele. These are the issues. So when we wake up and become citizens and become responsible, the fact you can only successfully keep having irresponsible leadership if you have irresponsible citizenship. And the minute you take your responsibility as a citizen, mehi to three me, even if you carry a normal human being when the fear of God in him. You understand? Tinye baha. By the time the citizens chawara yokunike, back to back, enye here space, either oshinga ha ritual moya ruano. But the two situations, nothing is happening. So until that happens, why we have even gotten so used to, whatever low quality thing made the other day. I home commission in Alex Oti Megana Abia State. Mji baha o kabidron. Ma comment and say, ọrụ ka juru eju, especially in Abia State enwebulu previous governors nemehe ha to three me. Kedu ka ịrụrụ one piece of road get water age ka abịa mee commissioning? Ị makwara ndị na-abịa agwa m rubbish wụkwa citizens, fellow citizens like me to si tinye ọnụ na this okwu. We have a lot of enabling citizens who don't even understand what they want. Mediocre thought process. And until that changes, we'll keep having anyhow kind of leadership. I don't care kind of leadership. Governors are supposed to serve you, but think that they are serving themselves. You will be doing projects in Wasarage. You will come to a state, Amroshabile school, things that directly affect citizens. Aruchabilia, but it's already is a plane. Because airport. Because big honor. How does that affect citizens directly? And yet, they are psychophants now, they are fans, the one that he did. Have you praised him? Have you worshipped him? Have you taken him to the altar so that you can bless God for the work of Onye Batarani to come and serve? So we'll keep talking about these things because I think that this job that we are doing here is what the National Orientation Agency is supposed to do. But sadly, for some reason, we are not seeing that very impact of National Orientation Agency. And we as citizens, we have to take up that office of the Nigerian citizen and I am not seeing any, so long as the jobs that they are doing is not affecting and improving the quality of life of a Nigerian citizen. I don't care if you are building castles in the air. I don't care if you are turning water to wine. If it's not affecting the quality of life of the citizens, you are just building castles in the air and doing whatever is good for you. And the funny thing is that you go and build legacy projects with the commonwealth of the people, zero regard for the quality of life of the people. That's why Ebonyi State ended up with a 54 billion airport, Koginika Boria. Airports that plane have not landed today, plane will not land tomorrow. We need to do this. Let me stop here so that Ndozo Gekuku, because those 5 governors,
Nne m
Biko ekwu na
ihe
biko ekwu na
ekwukwe one day.
ife afa ga wee kwue na
Airport Ebonyi State a
Rob
na-renovate na plane aka gbara ọnụ ya. God will help these people.
biko nụ ọfọ obere ka o luo na elekere iri na abụọ kwa ya 12 yes 12 so anyị ajụ nwayọ wee kwakọtazie okwu anụwa wee mechie amụrụ mgbe new speakers si wee nubata n'ime dis ozugbo ofofa obi mapụkwa m again si nekwa n'anya ebe a ka a ga na-eme ebe a anyway nkata dị very interesting and nkata has been useful and meaningful. Thank you Priscilla for all that. Kind of from Peter. Yes, Peter Chife. After Peter Chife, we'll hear from Afros Komonye Kozo. Okay,
Chooks
Chuck
fine.
fine. Chuck fine. Okay, because unu na ga share 5 minutes. Unu malkum ga simezi ya. Amalo onye nwere ezigbo obi nwanne now. Ọsụkwa gị welu nke nwanne gị welu kwa nke gị nwa ka ịma ka emetụ a ka ịma ụta ka yesu ebe gọvanọ mbọsị ya bụ gọvanọ. Nwe gaa n'iru. Peter.
Ụmụnne m ekenego m unu. Ana m ekene unu. Thank you very much. And I'll try as much as possible to be concise and summarize what I want to say. As much as dịka 819 si wee kwuo, there are lots of things in our mind, but some of them we don't want to say them so that we don't get into trouble. Mana, the major thing that I want to say is about anyị na-ekwu ihe ka anyị na-eme eme, anyị na-ekwu okwu ka anyị na-eme eme. One of the things I believe that we should do currently at the moment is to summon people. There are people that we have at the helm of affairs vested with the duties of protecting life and property. These people are getting paid for their duties. Why can't we summon them here? Like tomorrow, or to next, one Nachi Monday.
How do you summon them?
SSA to whatever governor on police affairs, commissioner of police, whatever it is. Okwe nwere ndị bụ ndị na-achị local government. These places, these areas ọ bụ na insecurity law. Okwe nwere local government. Okwe nwere ndị nọ as the representative na House of Assembly. Can't we summon these people? Owu na okay na asị na governor that oge si ike dị wete governor on this platform. We can go after these people. They must have, so they have to say something. They've been given this. This is their duty. They have the mandate to steer the affairs of the citizen, of the people. Let's summon them here. It's their duty. It's not a charity organization. They are not doing us a favor. Let's summon people, and if the person declines, then we know it will be on record. It means the person is scared. He doesn't know what to do. He's not doing his job. If you're doing your job, you'll be happy to come and talk about it. Munem, I think this is the way forward, though, because a lot of past speakers have spoken a whole lot, and they are good. A lot of good suggestions, including imago protest. Protest works, right? And Amamna protest also can it takes a whole lot to organize people. You know what goes into setting up a protest nowhere can take a whole lot of time, and it can be hijacked by this clueless man. So right now, I believe that AI need really make kita as a matter of urgency. We start summoning people, and then one last thing to round off is to open anyị nwee ndị nọ among us or ndị ọ bụ na ọ nwere onye unu male ọ bụ na bụ dịka eyewitness. Let's start documenting these things so that when we summon people, we can push questions to them directly, give them real facts. Thank you, my people. An American.
Okay. Dalu Peter Chife. Kainuzia from Chooks Fine. Where Bokotazia.
Thank you very much. Ihe a bụ okwu Igbo mana ọ dị nke Osenta na Anambra hinne. I'm on one or two things about Anambra State and as of now,
the governor Anambra states actually basically governor Anambra state somehow moved or for all intents and purposes have security for communities or push here down to communities. So it's more community based than anything, and all community efforts really would the as it were now with the engine of security apparatus or work in Anambra State. Hopefully, government can supply some things, but that's how it is. Which brings me to something. Ọtụtụ ndị igwe nọ n'ala Igbo tụmadị na Anambra steeti ebi n'obodo ha ha bi n'Ọka ha bi ebe ọzọ gasị so n'obodo tọgbọ chako and then iwere politics Anambra steeti nwee n'ime ya ihe kposa obviously governor bụ onye apụga and so most people chọrọ achọka Anambra were apụga ndị na-azọ here so politics batara emekwu ya because na governors nwere a lot of influence over igwes igwes mostly again I'm sure not all of them but igwes mostly na dance towards the government which leaves us with something. The nearest in both town unions and town union presidents and president generals and secretary generals at least. That's closest. Although I had a completely out devoid of politics, but at least everyone more neutrality and at least interest of the people. It solve issues more than it play politics. So I will suggest na meeting now we can all take something to do. Onye ọbụla try to invite the president union and or the secretary general of their town unions to this space, not these meetings. Ọ bụghị ka abịakere nwa ha ikpe ma ọ bụ ka abịa kọchara ya ha or something, but at least ka aṅa ha ntị because they are close, they have their ears to the ground, they are closer to the problem and they have been grappling with it. So we need to also listen to them, hear what they may tell us on how to deal with this, contribute to solve a problem in Anambra State in terms of security. That's kind of it. But again, in some places, the Igwe may be helpful, but again, I couldn't have Basara and the Igwe and the relationship with the government and politics and Anambra State and so on and so forth. So again, if at least money in longer, I need to house, if it's at least let's take it on ourselves to get in touch or get to know, or if we don't, get to know Nyebu President General of can invite him and persuade him and convince him to be part of these kinds of conversations. Okay, me know that at least we get to know and then they hear us. And if you know protest or whatever can be done, they may give us some insights on how to do it. And at the end of the government when we game, there are going to be people also on ground also to help to do it. Those are kind of my thoughts immediately.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Chicks. Fine.
Okay.
Okwu gị nọkwa ya wa anọ m ife kwuru anyị nọ ife kwuru ọ na yes ọ dị mma na anyị na-eme engage our leaders at all levels across all levels, you know, local level, state level. Onye ọbụla nọ under pressure. I agree with you, but the isi sekpụ ntị n'aka governor because ebe a ka ego si apụta. Even on this in the local level, I want to roll going and unfortunately, I repeat, unfortunately, ego security in Anambra State too much. This is one of the places where the problem is coming from. You know, I asked Mr. Val about this, but he was like, "Nah, technicalities." But the truth is that, like I said earlier, if you want to understand a crime, you follow the money. Where is the money going to? Where is the money going to? Who are benefiting from this crime? Where are their what are their money? If there is incessant kidnap in a particular state, it is serious. You can actually trace where the heavy funds are moving to. From there, you can trace and find out what's going on. But more than that, where is the government money going to? What part of it has gone into security? In 2024 budgets, I have a report with me that in 2024 budget, Ego will allocate for security related items. I have them here. One of them is purchase of security equipment. The budget was 844,344,000. How much was spent by the third quarter? How much was spent? 41,225,000 out of 844. That is 4.9%. Purchase of installation of CCTV and intercom. The budget was 465 million. How much was spent? Nil. 0%. Security votes, including operations, 17.28 billion naira. How much was spent? 5.39 million. In Afria, that is actually less than 0%. Security services, that's on 344 million. Out of that, they spent 167 million. That is 49%. Ministry of Home Affairs allocation, purchase of security equipment, 500 million naira. How much was spent? 0. It's what goes that border. Subvention to Ocha Brigade, 437 million naira. Actually, 437.5 million naira. How much was spent? 0. I'm not reading what I manufactured or what somebody manufactured. I'm reading what is in the budget of Anambra State for 2024 Galaga. So when you have this miniature mega expenditure on security, how do you expect to have results? How do you expect to have impact? So if I can just why, but what was the reason why the government of Anambra State decided not to invest in security, even though there was a budget provided for this? I mean, when you make a budget, what it means is this is your plan, this is what you intend to do. So, Kedife Mezerona, this money was not spent. And if this money was not spent because it was generated, evidence shows that they generated about, I'm trying to find that, more than 96% of the expected revenue was generated. So, if you didn't spend the money that was supposed to go into security, I mean, from the calculation here, I spent less than 60%, less than 70% of the money that was meant for security gets spent. So if the money didn't go into security, can they bet the money jello? That's the question. If you intentionally decided not to invest in security, in spite of the incessant crime that was increasing numerically every day, can they bet the money jello? And if you don't do that, how do you expect the people at the local level to be able to do anything at all? Uno no the voice note on now. You heard what he said. So I support the idea of expanding these conversations because the truth is, to answer what Afam was asking, the only reason why they don't Anambra now, why they don't with Faneme, they don't know can if Faneme. Don't know what some of them now, but I'm this Twitter space and other places. Bene Kent, Bene Kuku, check if I am. But the reason why the majority of India Anambra are seemingly, or they can say if had a docile, but they're not docile. The reason why they are the way they are is because they don't have enough information. And when you don't have information, government get you propaganda sagisi. I get you propaganda and Kevana Pozia. I get you propaganda such a sagisi. Mama de hana kosef. And then this our government, this our number government, they could very, very good. No me offend there. Ogana waga ni rugi no what if melon. Okwana selegas ni rugi and I wagi saying no. Like I was in a particular Twitter space where somebody came and he was telling everybody listening that we need to help the government. I just reeled out the amount now, the figures now. So if the government decided not to spend this kind of money, and they are coming publicly to say that we should help them, what kind of help do they want us to do for them? As in, can you do all of the money help us? It's new. Well, I can't spend the vehicle again. What exactly do they want us to do? So I agree. We need to inform the people more. We need more Twitter spaces. We need more shows, not just the money show. We need shows on Facebook. We need shows on Instagram. We need shows on TikTok. Not just talk shows, different kinds of content that educate the masses and let them understand what is going on. The more the people know, the more they understand what they need to do. The war starts from information. Ogwai now starts from information. Nke bụ eziokwu bụ na ọ bụrụ na half of ndị Anambra State ma ife anyị na-share here, Anambra ma dị like this. Those countries that we run to, ebe anyị na-emejakpa, the reason why those countries are the way they are is because the people know better and they demand what is right. So, what a shortcut to this war. Can I let body war? And what a shortcut to this work? And what a shortcut to it? Because all the make affect the government well. It's just that they like to deceive themselves. On a mefa affect. Can you give example? Ekwere mmadụ, ọkwa nọ na nga now. Why is he in jail? Because the system was not working. And because the system was not working, his daughter was in trouble. And there was no facility to take care of her in Enugu, where he was representing. So Fabaro Jeba London, then they created an illegal operation. Made kidney transplant. In that process, Ejidefa. Obu normally focus him in an Igbo as a senator, Bob senator. He won't be in trouble. So these things come around. They still come and affect you one way or the other. Just that we are living in denial. If family don't ever affect. So they don't want to be forget. How like corruption, but don't way ever draw line. I know when ever draw line. How if it so I don't want to keep dragging this, but I think that it's important that we continue doing what we're doing and encourage people to do more in other places. The more people know, the more we'll be able to do. Yes. I don't know, check a mama when you can never one, but it looks like everybody has spoken. So I get you one which is your one ever. We will be having another conversation next week. I'm looking at having a conversation with some people named if I name an Igbo now. That is very interesting. Also, we will be looking at the budget of the 5 states in the southeast very soon. I'm not on next Saturday, but I got Mankata very, very soon. And all got be very interesting. I got watch about everything. If I make it, I will just can go see a sample. I get in the budget last year and then came go get and release go now. Let me just say this about our guests. We are not here to promote any candidates. Even if we give you the chance to talk about what you're going to do, even if we give you the chance to give your opinion, what we're just doing is to create a room for conversations. Only when you wait for ma, we be only one way my fire, no way be going. But Abukwa Maki Banyan or Chichi, but twice is a kunya kai sologe. And if you do wrong, I got chagre or kunike until they know what is right. I had any one mother and you. I might have party that support, but when you're on the party, I'm a ponyable governor. I will not them off my men. That is the office of the citizen. Nobody will be an exception when it comes to this because that's our job. Yes. I'm not in Albania. I got Pape again next Saturday. This is the Money Show. You'll be listening to the Money Show. I don't know if you want to give a closing shot. I think Priscilla has already spoken. If I meet you. Again, your constituency now. Adora, can you hear me? Okay, it looks like Adora is very busy. So it's been the Money Show, Bakaudim Mandibo, where we gather to share ideas and rub minds and look for solutions to our collective challenges and look at how we can implement these solutions. Or a final whereby every Saturday, 8 p.m. I want to say thank you to everybody who has contributed to this conversation and everybody who has been sharing this space and those who have been listening from the audience, in the audience for the last 4 hours. Audio, audio. And also, I want to encourage everyone here to share this space. On when they want the chance to listen because their time didn't permit them. So they can come back and listen to it later. So if you can go ahead and share the space with them, when they have the time, they can come and listen to Nkatai Paina Bani Amakodi Nukumba. This just keeps spreading our conversations. Also, I ask you to follow us on this account so that whenever we post anything about our space or conversations, you will see the promotion and join us. Go to Akora Mona Bania and till next Saturday at the same time. Agazelu no. Udo.
Ah, la, la, la.